Ayo, this new Shanks agenda, I'm gonna call it the Megamind Shanks era, genuinely has me dying. Shanks has managed to keep such a tight grip on One Piece fanbase with what amounts to, I think, like 15 minutes of screen time, and every single time the fans learn something new about Shanks, the agenda about him grows wider and wider. And this latest chapter, chapter 1167 of the One Piece manga, has just blown it out of proportion. And to make matters even worse, when something insane happens to Shanks, well, the Mihawk Glazers come out, and the Mihawk agenda gets even bigger. And to triple down, when the Mihawk agenda comes out, the Mihawk Shadows agenda comes out, which means an upscale for Shanks is an upscale for Mihawk, which means it's an upscale for Gecko Moria. This is genuinely crazy, and I love every second of it. Basically, in the latest chapters, as if we didn't have enough bombshells already from this massive flashback that's going on, we get so many reveals that recontextualize the entire story of One Piece. That's why I think like One Piece is so easily the greatest series, anime, manga, whatever, that you can follow weekly. Every single chapter, there's something insanely interesting going on. And these new Shanks files that have been released are genuinely insane. For a brief moment, I would like to share my perspective on it. I've been waiting for the new One Piece chapter. I believe there was a break last week. I can't remember. The cocaine got to my brain. And then I just see some stupid ass leaks on Twitter, because of course it's the leaks. And I just see Shanks walking next to his twin brother Shamrock as they were best buddies. And then the chapter drops. I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna look at the leaks. I'm not gonna look at the leaks. This thing got spoiled to me. I wanna see what's actually happening. So yeah, it wasn't only revealed that Shanks has a twin brother, but it was also revealed that they are both a part of God's Knights, which means they are basically celestial dragons. And I don't joke. When I started to read One Piece like 2 years ago, I saw a spoiler that says, oh yeah, Shanks is basically a celestial dragon. And then I genuinely asked my friend who is caught up to One Piece, oh yeah, Shanks is a celestial dragon, right? He dead has looked at me into my soul and asked me, what the fuck are you smoking? Turns out, the theories were right. So the big plot twist of this chapter is that Shanks actually did go back to his twin brother and father and was part of God's Knights. And that was all to collect information about celestial dragons and the elders and Emu and the whole world. And that recontextualizes everything so fucking good. Because, okay, not gonna lie, while I was reading the chapter, when Shanks was like doing his play of like, I fucking hated my time on the planet down there, for a brief second I was like, ooh, is Shanks going to be a bad guy? But no, because literally 2 chapters later, it's also revealed he was the one who helped Fisher Tiger escape, who helped Boa Hancock escape, and basically freed all the slaves on married, whatever the fuck you call it. I still don't know how to pronounce it. And that is genuinely so insane to me. But honestly, the Shanks agenda, which genuinely actually kind of cracked me up so hard, was because during this whole chapter, Shanks is seen wearing a bandage. Now, I don't know if he's wearing a bandage because he just got that wound from Blackbeard, because I thought he got the wound from Blackbeard while he was still with Roger Pirates fighting the Whitebeard Pirates, but I guess not. But the thing that was so funny is because, yeah, everybody thought that this is the pirate with an eye patch. Now, if you don't know, Oda, like years and years ago, stated that when you see a pirate with an eye patch in One Piece, that means the One Piece is ending. Because yeah, like this is a manga about pirates, and we see peg legs, we see hooks for hands, but we don't see the eye patch, which is arguably like the quintessential pirate thing you can have. And people saw Shanks with a bandage, and they just started the agenda, oh, it was Shanks! It was Shanks all along! Here's a pirate with a bandage! Here's a pirate with a eye patch! But no, you dumb fucks. He's wearing a bandage. I don't think... I mean, yeah, One Piece is ending, but if the whole One Piece manga doesn't have a pirate with an eye patch, but we get Shanks with a bandage, I will genuinely... I will genuinely, be so mildly infuriated. I cannot explain this to you enough. And all of this is just so insane because, okay, when you think about it, Shanks was a part of Roger Pirates, they circumvented the world. Now, we don't know if Shanks found out what the One Piece is. We don't know if he found what the Void Century is, because he and Buggy could not actually, in fact, go to Left Tail. They couldn't enter the final island, but they do know something. And then, after the Roger Pirates disbanded, we see that Shanks tried to recruit Buggy, but then at some point, Shanks went back to the God's Knights, infiltrated them. He basically let the slaves escape, which set like all kinds of commotions, all kinds of things into motion. Then he stole the Nika fruit, and then, like, I don't know if he planned this, but at this point, the Megamind Shanks agenda might be right, and he might have planned this. He might have planned to give the Nika fruit specifically to Luffy. Although in flashback, it doesn't seem like it. But then again, it can be like he's acting, because apparently he's a very good actor. And not only that, in Band's flashback, who, keep in mind, is like the left hand man of Roger, he was chilling in an onset with Shanks, and then we saw this like tattoo on Shanks's arm that's got bitten off, and now we learn that that tattoo symbolizes that, oh yeah, you are part of like the God's Knights. You are directly answering to Emu and the elders and all of that. So that probably means that that tattoo is what allows Emu to like possess people like we've seen him possessing all this time. And Shanks, people are like, how did Shanks' arm get eaten? He's supposed to be the strongest pirate on the seas currently, or in the top 5, whatever. How he well, turns out he planned it. Megamind Shanks planned it all. So yeah, he let his arm, like people theorized when they saw the tattoo, Shanks let his arm get eaten off by that sea beast so that he's not under Emu's control, so he could liberate himself basically. So when you think about it, after Roger, Shanks is literally the most influential pirate slash character in One Piece. And now it also makes so much more sense that Garp is like, Luffy, do not get acquainted with this dipshit. He is literally part of the people I hate the most, which is like the Celestial Dragons. So now this boy Shanks has arguably the strongest Conqueror's Haki, which means he's one of the strongest characters. He has the most influence. He is the main character's main inspiration, and he's obviously like colluding behind the scenes, leading the world how he wants to lead it. And he's like the most respected pirate because like, he like protects 70% of Grand Line or some shit. I do not understand. I don't know how did Oda do this? How did he make a character that appears every 500 episodes and make him this fucking cool? I love One Piece. I just have to mention that with all of these, we also had a moment in this chapter where we see Loki calling his adopted mother his real mom, and that made me cry. I just wanted to mention that because One Piece has either amazing reveals or just fucking emotions with parents that